And so there's some of the graduates coming in and they're like, oh, what are those dots on my patrol project? Oh, those are the wells.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're doing fun.
I'm like, oh, but I can do this because it's all automated in Protrella, but do you have any understanding what you've just done? No, I pressed that button in Protrella, so it must be right.
Yeah, it's interesting. That is an interesting thing. I mean, I went in as a technical assistant, and I went in as I plotted logs. That was my job. It was great. I folded them and sent them out to the wrong people. But, I'm very competent. But it is true. And then you see people coming in, and they get employed in the, milk rounds, and they do their 3 month rotations down in, and they do instill that kind of like, well, you want to be a manager job, and you can't be a manager all the time.
Yeah, and they're always treated. I always felt like immersed. They're treated like little princes and princesses who are like, golden and shiny. But even the way they recruited them was, in my mind, really wrong, because someone was saying that HR had marked one of the people that they were interviewing down because he hadn't got any experience travelling. Now he'd just graduated like everyone else, but he came from a really poor background, so he spent his summers working in a fish factory because he didn't have money, whereas the kids whose parents were wealthy paid for them to go and do these charitable things, which have turned out to all be bullshit as well, which actually doesn't help, but they've all had experience of showing. I took my gap year, and that's the type of people that get him being employed by the oil companies, because
when so many kids are straight A's, the only thing you distinguish, the only thing that gives them an advantage is to do a more unusual gap year.
Yeah, but working in a fish factory is probably more unusual than doing a gap year.
So that's something there's something that I have involved which is wrong there. Because I did that as well. I worked in factories.
Yeah.
In all my summer holidays, and as an undergraduate and when I was a schoolboy as well. And I totally buy into the idea that you get more out of that.
Oh, I agree. But the HR departments think it's better that these kids are, because the other thing is, the kids are being handed this stuff on the plate. It's not like they've got to go out and work for it. No, their parents are wealthy. They can afford to pay for them to go off and do these charitable things.
On the way here, I was listening to a radio thing saying that there's never been less social mobility than now in Britain. And basically, rich middle-class parents spend all of their wealth making sure that their own children get more opportunities than they do, and the family stays rich. It's really clear there.
And I used to think that if I used to be really proud of the fact that I'd done my masters while I was still working, and I was like, no, I did it in the shortest time period that you could, so it took me 2 years to finish it, and I only just missed out on a distinction as well because of one exam. I got two percentage points lower than the cut-off for the distinction, which they have since changed. I would have ended up with a distinction. It's annoying because on my undergrad I missed out by about 5% on a first.
Oh no!
And so I was really proud of the fact that I did my undergrad while I was bringing up the kids by myself, and I was still working, and I did my masters while I was, I had 2 kids and I was still working full time. And I went offshore even though I had kids, and I've always been really proud. But actually, when I got to CNR, they were suspicious of me for doing all that. And we had this.
I am too, actually, because if you'd had a proper middle class upbringing,
I would have been CEO of Shell by now.
I would have steamed into the university and made them give you the 2 points that you needed.
I would have sued them. For the distinction. But so the point was, instead of saying, "Oh wow, you must be super organised and really efficient, and that's brilliant that you can do all of that and still do a really good job in your day job," instead of that, it was suspicion. It was like I had one of the managers come up to my face that close during the Christmas night out and just repeat the same phrase over and over again. How did you do it? And then I was like, well, I'm really organised. I have a couple of hours with the kids. We have dinner, and then I go back to my desk, and I'm working till 12 o'clock every night. Doing 3 or 4 hours a night. No, but how do you do it? And I was like, I've just told you how I do it. And I was like, I've got the motivation. I'm enthusiastic. He kept going, how did you do it? And I was like, what do you want me to say? And basically, he was trying to trip me up to say that I was working during work time. And I'm not. I was never doing that. The only time I ever did it was I took an hour lunch break and I would sit eating my lunch whilst doing some uni work. And that was the only time. But they were suspicious and intimidated by the fact that I was working this hard. And the weird thing is, I was never dishonest. They knew I was doing my masters. In fact, they paid for my fees, and they paid the fees back that Maersk had paid. So why they then got so suspicious of me is really bizarre, really, really bizarre. And I think it comes down to the fact that they just didn't like my personality. After I joined, I didn't fit in with this, and the kind of women image that they had at CNL was very embedded. The women there were either mumsy or super glamorous, young, high-heeled wearing. I used to watch the managers slime all over the 19-year-old secretaries, trying to get them to go out on their amazing, company dinners and stuff. And I'm just like, I remember going up to one of them and I was like, "Are you okay?" Because this guy had been, really aggressively trying to ask her out. And I was like, he's there in his 50s, she's 19. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Well, you kind of get used to it a bit around here." And I'm like, "But you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to."
No wonder they...
That's why they hated me, because I wasn't like that.
That's unusual in an oil company as well, but I think it's still there, but it can be hidden a little bit.
It's much more hidden, yeah.
It's definitely like that at Baker. It was very much, it was great, in your face, kind of sleazy.
Yeah.
Sexism.
Just, a little bit, yeah, but that kind of experience. I mean, I was a young female there, and it was certainly, it was quite... I was, told to go out and see the clients and put on a short skirt and high heels kind of thing, It was like, it wasn't because I was good at explaining. It was really my job.
I do remember Janet, who's my exact contemporary in show. She was a very early geologist in show as this woman. She said when she was young it was really bad, but things changed as time.
Yeah, because you get older.
Things do change. Well, yeah.
You get told I'm over mature by the lovely academic.
Yeah, that's it. You said,
No, but men,
they're still getting on. But I was told when I was at Royal Holloway that I was over mature. By a guy who's the same age as me.
Sort of flirty, trying to get youngsters.
Oh no, it still happens. That person who shall remain nameless at Aberdeen University.
Heather about this week.
Oh no,
she
he's
said all
still
this
doing
Weinstein stuff will be going on in every company.
Yeah, it does.
Not in my company.
Well, you don't know about it.
Well, I think I would spot it.
No, how would you spot it? Because it certainly happens at Aberdeen University.
Oh,
and it's still going on at Aberdeen University.
No, I did say that, in my opinion, the universities were as bad as...
They're terrible. Yeah, they're really bad.
As the as Hollywood. I didn't think all businesses were that bad.
Royal Holloway. I started just after the only female lecturer had left. And she came to clear out some of the stuff, and I'd taken over her office. And she was hilarious. She's Spanish, so she's very flamboyant. And I was going, "I'm just going to tell all girls in future just to find a rich man because I'm so sick of this." And she'd been told that she couldn't get promoted because she didn't have enough classroom time, right? And the reason she didn't was because she had a kid. And so she couldn't get promoted to professor from lecturer because of that. And she moved for professor.
But that's not Weinstein type stuff.
No.
Weinstein type stuff is getting you into a conference room and grabbing you.
Right, when I was an undergrad, and bearing in mind I was a mature student, so I was heading towards my 30s, and I went and sat to speak to one of my lecturers, and he sat looking at my boobs the entire time. And I was like, my face is here. And he's just sat there staring at me. I'm like, I'm almost 30 and I'm finding this really uncomfortable. Can you imagine being an 18, 19-year-old girl faced with this kind of attitude that people have, And then
you find that was less offshore, wasn't it?
Much less offshore.
The whole idea that offshore was worse than...
Nope.
Is it? Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm finding, which is really interesting.
It is.
You're just, like you say, you're there to do a job, but I wonder if it is because, everyone is working hard and, you're all dressed the same, there is
absolutely.
You're not drawing attention to yourself in any
although
way.
some women still take off makeup, like the other girl that I trained with, she was hilarious. She used to wear a dress on the way home, so she'd get changed into a little dress, and then as soon as we got to the heli, whatever it's called here on shore, as soon as we got, she'd run into the toilets to put her heels on. She wore makeup every day. She got into trouble once because she was supposed to be coming out to help coring, and she spent so long. I'd woken her up because she wasn't on a shift. I mean, she was supposed to be coming on. She spent so long